This is Matt Walsh with your Minute with the Mayor for Wednesday, July 8th. Some bits and pieces on the coronavirus. There has been some talk in the news about blood types. Recent studies have suggested that people's blood types may affect their risk in contracting the COVID-19 virus or developing a serious case of the disease. Overall, the findings indicate that people with type O blood seem to be more protected than those who have type A blood, who appear to be more vulnerable. European study published last month in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people with type A blood were 45% more likely to develop severe COVID, requiring oxygen supplementation and a ventilator, than people with other blood types, and then those with type O blood were 35% less likely. An explanation for the findings isn't known, but there is speculation that blood type may affect clotting and other COVID-19 factors in patients, or somehow affect infectivity or immunity. The hope is that the findings can be applied to future research to better understand why the coronavirus affects people differently to develop treatments. Any possible influence of blood type on COVID-19 appears to be small compared with the substantial impact of the known risk factors, such as older age and underlying health conditions. People shouldn't jump to the conclusion that they are safer or not safer because of their blood type. On the number of COVID deaths, the United States has a little over 4% of the world's population, but currently has a total death count of 130,813, which accounts for 24% of the world's COVID-19 deaths. Worldwide, there have been almost 12 million confirmed positive cases, with approximately 3 million of those occurring in the U.S., or 25.3%. Again, we have 4% of the world's population. We account for 24% of the world's deaths and 25.3% of those who have been confirmed positive. We are obviously not doing something right. Early on, they talked about Sweden. Sweden took a different tack than anybody else in the world. They just left everything open and operating as if it were normal, trying to develop herd immunity. Instead of imposing a lockdown like the rest of the world, Sweden put stock in the sensibility of its people, as it largely avoided imposing government prohibitions. The government allowed restaurants, gyms, shops, playgrounds, and most schools to remain open. By contrast, Denmark and Norway opted for strict quarantines, banning large groups and locking down shops and restaurants. More than 3 months later, the coronavirus is blamed for 5,420 deaths in Sweden, according to the World Health Organization. That might not sound especially horrendous compared to the 130,000 Americans who have died, but Sweden is only a country of 10 million people. Per million people, Sweden has suffered 40% more deaths than the United States. That's your Minute with the Mayor. Do something kind for somebody. This thing is not getting better. In fact, it appears to be getting worse. The death count is down, but the infections are up when possible. Please wear a mask out in public. Social distance 6 feet. Remember to practice good hygiene and do something kind for someone.